I'm going to make a dessert, a classic. I'm going to make a soufflé, but I'm going to start off by using the Thermomix to make a pastry cream base. Creme pat pastry cream is a nightmare to make on the stove because it involves heating up milk, whisking egg yolks and sugar with corn flour, standing there stirring it for ages. The beauty about using the Thermomix for it is you can actually put it on, forget about it and go and do something else, make yourself a coffee, do whatever. First of all though, I'm going to actually use the Thermomix to make some cinnamon sugar, which is going to line the souffle mold. So I've got some cinnamon sticks, I'm going to grind them down in the machine, and then I'm going to add the sugar and make a really light cinnamon sugar, which should be a lovely flavour. This can be done out well in advance and then kept. Okay, I'm going to turn Thermomix on, put it on about speed 6 and throw the cinnamon sticks in to make a powder. Again, fresh cinnamon every time. It's got a much stronger, more aromatic flavour than using ground. There you go. Okay. I'm then going to add granulated sugar into here. Some people like to use brown sugar. Brown sugar, as long as your sugar is quite dry, that's the important thing. Okay, I wish we had smell-o-vision here because this is just fantastic. There's nothing quite like the smell of ground cinnamon. It's nice. Okay. Fresh cinnamon, ground up with some sugar now. What I'm going to do with this next is actually line the souffle molds. Just going to put it to one side. Now, saving on the washing up, because as you can see, there's only myself and Chris in the kitchen today. We don't have a kitchen porter, more's the pity. So I'm actually going to use the same bowl to make the pastry cream base, so no washing up required. Into here, I'm going to add my sugar straight in, okay, egg yolks and whole egg. Then going to take the fresh vanilla pod, split it down the middle, and what we're looking for here is just the seeds out of the vanilla pod, not the actual pod itself. Again, traditionally, if you were using a pan, you'd use the whole pod, allow the flavour to infuse, but with this, I'm just going to put the seeds straight in. Again, split both sides. With these old pods as well, don't throw them out. They're great to actually put into sugar. You get a fantastic flavour from them. Go straight into there. Going to give this a little mix up, then we'll add the corn flour and we'll add the milk. We then cook it. Corn flour into there as well. And then add your milk. Again, thinking back to using a traditional method of sticking it all on the stove, really, really difficult. Very, very simple. 7 minutes there. 90, speed 4. Coffee time. Okay, pastry cream is now finished, it's cooked down. While that's cooling down, what I'm going to do next is actually line the ramekins with the cinnamon sugar. This is really, really important you take your time doing this. This is a technique that a lot of people rush. And it's really important that you get soft butter and line your ramekins perfectly. We're then going to dust them with the sugar, and that's going to stop the souffle mixture sticking. Okay, so going all the way around there, just making sure that the ramekin is nicely lined. Put them in the fridge and then do it again. I'm going to do this technique twice. So second round of greasing here. The ramekins have been in the fridge once. Second lot of butter, cinnamon sugar, and then it'll be time to whisk up egg whites and to actually assemble the souffle. So what you're doing next is actually taking a heaped tablespoon of the cinnamon sugar, rolling it around quite liberally in there. Until your mould not only smells fantastic, but it's well lined. Now when you're making this cinnamon sugar up in the Thermomix, you'll always end up with more than you need because you only need a very small amount of it. Keep it in a Kilner jar and it will keep comfortably for a couple of weeks. Okay, so at this stage, put them back in the fridge, stop them melting. It smells fantastic. Okay, so I've got my pastry cream base now. I'm now going to actually use the Thermomix to whisk up egg whites. Get my glamorous assistant Chris to bring over the egg whites. Chris, have you got the whites please in the bowl? Yep. Lovely. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to use this little beauty now, okay? goes into there. Going to use 8 egg whites at room temperature. Now it's quite warm in the kitchen today. Depending on the temperature of the kitchen, I would always try and set it about 37 degrees. Okay, so just same principle as before. Turn your machine on, set it for 37 degrees. I'll put these on for probably 5 to 6 minutes, put them on for 5 and then just keep checking them. Speed 4, okay, 37 degrees, 5 to 6 minutes, 8 egg whites. That should hopefully give us nice soft peaks, which means we can use that to mix with a pastry cream which we made in the Thermomix. Beautiful cinnamon and apple souffle. Okay, now egg whites are just coming out to nice and soft. I'm actually going to put some sugar into here just to stabilise them off. What you should have at the end of it is beautiful egg whites. The consistency of those. Now soft peak should hold its own shape. At this point, what we have to do is we've got 3 different bowls, we've got 3 mixtures, all of very, very different consistencies. Okay, get rid of the paddle. So we've got the pastry cream base there. We've got the apple compote, which we've got a basic recipe for. And we got the egg whites. Now you can actually see that all of these are very, very different consistencies. But what's really, really important is you mix them all together as quickly as you possibly can. Now I'm going to remove that from the bowl. First of all, I'm going to do the base. So take some of your pastry cream, which is beautiful, silky, smooth, no lumps in it at all. You will never ever make one like that in a pan with no lumps. Very difficult. That hasn't been passed through a sieve. We're then going to add some of the apple compote, which has again been cooked out in the Thermomix, into there. Now this base needs a dry concentrated flavour. I'll actually add a little bit of the cinnamon sugar as well. So cinnamon sugar, apple and pastry cream base. Now you'll see with that mixture there, okay, that is a completely different consistency to your egg whites. Now what's really, really important is you get the 2 mixed as closely to the same consistency as possible. So I'm going to start off by adding about 1/3 of the egg white into here. And then to that, I'm going to add the rest. The reason I've done this is to actually loosen it off, make it close to the same consistency as the egg whites. And then add the egg whites and fold them through. Okay, ramekin, mixture into here. Okay, the object of the exercise is to hopefully get it inside the ramekin, not down the sides. Clean it off. Take your thumb and your forefinger around the edge just to clean off the edges. That's then going to go into a preheated oven. It's going to go in 190 for approximately 7 to 8 minutes. But every single cooking process here has been done in the Thermomix. So we've actually cooked out the apple compote, made a pastry cream base, cinnamon sugar, and actually done the egg whites. Hopefully this will work.